Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what confidence really is? Most of us grow up believing that confidence is the ability to charm others, to shine in a crowd, or to say the right words at the right time. Society tells us that confidence is something you wear on the outside, a polished smile, a confident posture, or an impressive resume. And so, we chase these outward signs, thinking they will make us strong, respected, or even happy. But what if all of this is an illusion? What if the true measure of confidence isn't how others see us, but how we see ourselves? Imagine a calm lake. The surface may ripple with every gust of wind, yet deep beneath, the water remains still. That stillness is what Stoics call inner mastery. It's not about controlling the world or forcing admiration from others. It's about controlling yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. This realization is both liberating and unsettling. When you shift your focus from external validation to personal control, you step into a space where judgment, failure, or rejection no longer shake you. A simple but powerful practice begins here. Start observing your thoughts without clinging to them. Notice the judgment, the self-doubt, the desire for approval, and let them pass like clouds in the sky. By training your mind this way, you begin to cultivate a confidence that is calm, deliberate, and unshakable. And once you experience even a glimpse of this inner stability, you'll naturally wonder, how do we take it further? How do we turn this quiet awareness into real courage in life? That question leads us into the next step. Mastering yourself from the inside out. True confidence begins where most people never look inside your own mind. We often confuse confidence with charisma or charm, believing that it's something to perform outwardly, but the Stoics remind us that real courage and assurance are born from self-mastery, the ability to remain calm and deliberate even when the world around you is chaotic. Think about it. How often have you reacted at someone, panicking over a small failure, or letting your emotions dictate your actions? Each time we surrender to these impulses, we give away pieces of our confidence. Self-mastery is the process of reclaiming them. It's not about being emotionless. It's about noticing your impulses without letting them control you. Practical steps are surprisingly simple, yet profoundly transformative. Journaling your daily emotional triggers can help you identify patterns you never noticed before. Pausing for just a few deep breaths before reacting allows reason to guide your actions, rather than fear or frustration. Over time, these small, conscious decisions accumulate, creating a mind that is steady, grounded, and capable of true self-trust. When you cultivate this inner authority, you no longer need to seek approval or validation from others. Your confidence flows naturally from the awareness that no matter what happens outside, you remain in command of your own thoughts and actions. And once you begin to master yourself, the next step is learning how to confront fear not as an enemy, but as a teacher. What if fear isn't a sign of weakness, but a guide pointing directly to the places where your confidence is fragile? Most of us spend a lifetime trying to avoid fear of failure, of rejection, of looking foolish. We tell ourselves that confidence means never feeling fear. Stoicism, however, teaches the opposite. Fear is not an enemy to be destroyed, but a mirror reflecting our blind spots. Imagine standing on the edge of a new challenge, perhaps speaking in public, asking someone out, or taking a risk at work. Your heart races, palms sweat, and your mind screams, "I can't do this." That discomfort is the signal that you are about to grow. By leaning into it, by observing it with curiosity rather than panic, you begin to transform fear from a chain into a tool. Practical exercises make this real. Visualize the worst-case scenario in a situation, and ask yourself, could I survive this? Usually, the answer is yes. Reframing fear as feedback information about what matters to you, you too act with clarity instead of avoidance. Another powerful approach is gradual exposure. Take small, deliberate steps toward what scares you, each time expanding your comfort zone without forcing it. When you learn to confront fear rather than flee from it, you build a reservoir of calm courage. You begin to understand that true confidence is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. And once fear is no longer your enemy, you are ready to embrace the next Stoic principle. The art of indifference, learning to remain steady in a world that constantly tests you. One of the most misunderstood principles of Stoicism is indifference. At first, it sounds cold or detached, like we should stop caring about life or people. But true indifference is not apathy. It is clarity. It is the understanding that some things are within your control, and some are not, and that your energy is far too valuable to waste on what you cannot change. Consider how much time is lost worrying about the opinions of others, the outcomes of situations, or circumstances beyond your reach. Each of these is a tiny leak in your confidence, eroding your inner calm. Stoics teach that by focusing only on what we can control, our thoughts, our choices, Our actions we reclaim this energy and build a mind that is steady and resilient. Practically, this begins with observation and reflection. When faced with a judgmental comment or an unexpected setback, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, let it go. Journaling about daily events and your responses can help you distinguish between what is meaningful and what is noise. Over time, you cultivate a mind that remains unshaken, regardless of chaos around you. This practice of deliberate indifference doesn't make you distant. It makes you grounded. Your presence becomes magnetic, your actions intentional, and your confidence unshakable. And when you master this inner steadiness, you are prepared to step into the next stage. Presence over performance. Learning to act from authenticity rather than a desire to impress. Too often, we confuse confidence with performance, that to appear confident, we must act, speak, or look a certain way. We train ourselves to perform for others, to craft a persona that we hope will impress. But Stoicism teaches something radically different. True confidence is not in what you show the world, it's in how fully you inhabit the moment. Presence, not performance, is the quiet heartbeat of self-assurance. Being present means engaging with your environment and your interactions, without distraction, without overthinking how you appear. It is the awareness of your thoughts, your body, and your surroundings, all aligned with calm attention. Imagine listening to someone speak without mentally rehearsing your reply, or taking deliberate, steady breaths before a challenging conversation. In those moments, your confidence is visible not as a performance, but as an aura of calm certainty. Practical steps to cultivate presence include grounding exercises. Notice the physical sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breathing, or the subtle details in your surroundings. Mindful listening in conversation is another way. Focus entirely on what the other person is saying rather than how they see you. Over time, these practices strengthen a quiet confidence that requires no approval, no showmanship, only awareness. Once presence becomes a habit, you realize that acting from authenticity always outshines acting from pretense. And as we move forward, the next essential layer of confidence emerges from within. Mastering the inner dialogue that shapes yourself, your choices, and your resilience. The voice inside your head is the single most influential factor in how confident you feel. Most people treat it carelessly, letting negative thoughts run unchecked, criticizing, doubting, or replaying worst-case scenarios. Stoicism teaches that your inner dialogue shapes reality. It is not the world that disturbs you, but your judgment of it. Mastery over this inner voice is mastery over yourself. Consider how often self-doubt or fear emerges before even a small challenge. That voice whispers, "You'll fail," or "They won't like you." If you accept these thoughts as truth, they dictate your actions. But if you learn to observe them, question them, and respond intentionally, you reclaim control. This is the essence of Stoic self-mastery, reason guiding your mind instead of reaction. Practical techniques are simple but profound. Start by journaling your recurring negative thoughts, labeling them as judgments rather than facts. Challenge them with evidence and reflection. Is this thought helpful? Is it true? What would a calm, rational version of me think? Rehearsing composure and imagined scenarios trains the mind to respond with clarity rather than panic. Over time, this disciplined inner dialogue becomes your ally, not your enemy. When you master your inner voice, confidence stops being fragile or performative. It flows naturally because it is grounded in reason, not reaction. And once you have this mental clarity, you are ready to translate it into real-world courage through deliberate actions, setting the stage for the next chapter. Confidence through action, reflection, awareness, and mastery of your inner dialogue are powerful, but they alone do not create confidence. True assurance is forged in the crucible of action. Stoicism teaches that knowledge without application is empty. Courage without practice is fragile. Confidence grows when you act deliberately. Even in the presence of doubt or discomfort, consider how small, intentional steps can transform your sense of self. Perhaps it's initiating a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, speaking up in a meeting despite nerves, or taking on a challenge that scares you. Each action, no matter how minor, reinforces your trust in your ability to handle life. The key is not recklessness, it is deliberate, principled action aligned with your values. Practical strategies to build this habit include setting incremental challenges. Push yourself slightly beyond your comfort zone each day. Reflect afterward on what you did well and what you learned, rather than judging the outcome alone. Over time, this creates a feedback loop where competence reinforces confidence. Another technique is visualization. Imagine acting with calm assurance before facing the actual situation. Your mind rehearses success, preparing you to respond with poise rather than fear. By acting consistently, you internalize the Stoic truth. Confidence is not an external performance, it is earned through deliberate, reasoned choices. And once action becomes a habit, you are ready to extend this quiet power into your relationships, shaping how you interact with others with calm authority and presence. Confidence isn't just about how you feel, Alan, it's about how you show up with others. Many believe that to be attractive or respected, they must impress, charm, or dominate. Stoicism offers a different approach. True confidence in relationships flows from steadiness, empathy, and self-mastery. It is less about performance and more about presence, consistency, and integrity. When you cultivate calm authority and emotional stability, people naturally respond to it. Listening fully, responding thoughtfully, and setting clear boundaries demonstrates confidence without needing to prove yourself. The Stoic mindset reminds us that you cannot control how others behave, only how you act. This frees your energy from anxiety, social approval, or the need to manipulate perception, allowing relationships to flourish authentically. Practical steps to embody this confidence include mindful communication. Focus entirely on the person you are speaking with. Rather than rehearsing your own response, practice assertiveness by expressing needs and boundaries clearly, calmly, and without guilt. And when conflict arises, respond deliberately rather than react impulsively. Your composure becomes a stabilizing force for both yourself and others. By building confidence in your interactions, you don't just gain respect or reinforce your inner mastery. Each steady, thoughtful connection strengthens your sense of self and prepares you for the challenges that life inevitably throws at you. From here, the next lesson is inevitable. Handling setbacks gracefully, the test of real Stoic confidence. Even the most disciplined and self-aware among us face setbacks. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of preparation can shield us from disappointment, failure, or loss. But Stoicism teaches that true confidence isn't measured by how we act when everything goes smoothly, it's revealed in how we respond when the world challenges us. Setbacks are not obstacles to your confidence. They are its testing ground. Imagine missing an important opportunity or experiencing rejection. Your first impulse might be frustration, anger, or self-doubt. The Stoic approach is to pause, reflect, and ask, what is within my control here? What can I learn? By focusing on what you can influence, your thoughts, your choices, your reactions, you prevent external events from destabilizing your inner calm. This mindset transforms failure into feedback, disappointment into insight. Practical strategies include journaling about challenges, reframing setbacks as lessons rather than personal shortcomings, and visualizing potential difficulties before they arise. Each reflection reinforces resilience and allows you to act from reason rather than emotion. By responding with composure and intention, you preserve your self-respect and strengthen the habit of confidence under pressure. Mastering setbacks doesn't make life perfect. It makes you unshakable. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, a practice in calm authority. And when you consistently respond with grace, you complete the final step of the Stoic journey, achieving quiet, enduring confidence that naturally shapes every choice and interaction. After mastering self-mastery, presence, action, and resilience, confidence reaches its highest form, quiet, unshakable strength. It is no longer loud or performative. You no longer seek approval, nor do you measure yourself against others. Instead, your assurance flows from a deep alignment with your values, a calm authority rooted in reason, and a steady trust in your own judgment. This is the confidence that the Stoics prized, invisible to those who only look at appearances, yet palpable to anyone who feels it. It manifests in the way you carry yourself, the decisions you make, and the calm with which you navigate challenges. It is expressed not through words alone, but through consistency, composure, and integrity. People sense it, even if they cannot articulate why. To cultivate this quiet strength in your daily life, continue the practices we've explored. Observe your thoughts, confront fear, act with intention, communicate authentically, and embrace setbacks as lessons. Reflection, journaling, and deliberate presence anchor these habits into your character. Over time, confidence becomes a natural extension of who you are rather than something you have to summon or perform. The ultimate takeaway is simple, yet profound. When confidence originates from within, when it is grounded in mastery of self rather than admiration from others, it becomes unstoppable. It shapes your choices, your relationships, and your life with calm power. And in that steadiness, you discover freedom, the freedom to act, to connect, and to live fully, guided not by fear, but by reason, presence, and purpose.